Welcome back, everyone, to the final countdown. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. All right, our posse has met up with this Monroe, the sheriff, though he doesn't seem to remember any of them. How peculiar. But he agrees to go ahead and help them in this endeavor.
I think so. Susie is waiting outside, right? She's not in the room.
Yeah, I'll say she's in the room.
Oh, okay. Shit. I was gonna try and be mean, but I think if Susie's around, then I think Nira's gonna try and be like, "Oh no, I'm very nice. I'm not. No, I'm on the up and up."
Oh, you're acting oddly normal? What?
Well, I mean,
right after having a night out and totally drunk, throwing up, and all of that the night before. But of course, we don't remember any of that.
Yeah. Also, I look like a bug. I mean, it's never gonna be, But nonetheless, I think in that case, I'm gonna look to Ezra to kind of take the lead here because, he's experienced in the Burning Beyond. He knows what's going on, and if he takes the lead, then maybe I can hang out with Susie a little bit.
Yeah, Kona's also looking over towards Ezra, kind of like the big wide eye that popped open earlier is now narrowly kind of looking over, so to the beyond then? Kona says.
Yes, let's do this. Let's finally go to the gate.
Now, somebody told me all about your great adventure last night. So where is this key you have, huh? Can I see it?
Like, you told him about the key? What? What? No.
Do we know what this key is? Okay. I'm not sure I recall.
Yeah, it's so Ezra's walking over to Kona, I think, nudging her. Show her the Hellstone.
Right, and so she kind of looks down at where it's at on her body, maybe it's in this little pouch on her side, and she kind of reluctantly pulls the flap open and exposes it, and then I think she just does that, holds it out in front. Oh, the grabby hands. Okay, so I think she kind of does this.
I mean, she's she's pretty young. It's Susie. Come on.
Yeah, I just hold it out. I just hold it down like this, and then wiggle it a little bit as she grabs for it, and then I'm like, okay, and then I just kind of give it to her.
That's only part of the key. What's the other part?
I look confused to Ezra.
Yeah, I think Ezra's looking confused to Kona. Okay.
I was like, I thought you had it, and I looked up to the girl. I'm like, I thought you had it.
Hey, Sarah, you got the other part of this?
Do I have the other part of this?
Or do I?
Yes.
Do I have both? Wait.
I do have a key.
Yes.
I do
Yes,
have,
you do. Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I'll hand it over and just be like,
yes, the key. Okay. No.
No. That's too heavy for me to do. Here, you put it together. She'll hand you the Hellstone.
the blazes. Blah! And then Moreau's gonna drop it because he doesn't touch Hellstone. Ding, ding.
I think Nero will take their gloves out of that pocket, which they have to handle Hellstone, and hand it to Monroe. And Monroe's hands are definitely too big for these gloves. And Nero's just gonna be like, "Hey, use this."
So he's gonna use them as like kitchen towels and sort of pick it up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, looks good. And kind of put together the two pieces and click it into place.
And what you have is this cast metallic metal alloy here that has an engraved handle, the shaft, and some sort of apparatus to which the piece of Hellstone that you guys have been carrying since the beginning fits in exactly and seems to meld and click into place. Still being round. And if you look at it, yeah, no, it kind of does look like an aspect of a key if you're looking at it from this one side for all the pins.
Right. So looks like we have some sort of key. Now, where is this gate you speak of?
I think as that sort of happens, the conversation seems to kind of fade away into the background, Nero,
Okay.
as that warm embrace, that kinship just comes over you again. Your mother is calling. Do you answer?
Mom, I'm busy. Yeah.
No, I send a text.
Yeah. Told you not to call me when I'm at school. Yeah, no, I
We're
definitely.
recording!
Do you know how dangerous it is not to answer Mom's call?
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm gonna pick up for sure.
Okay.
And I think like probably here, you see Nero's face, like their eyes kind of go blank, and they kind of sniff, right? Because the way that like some of this is happening, like via maybe like pheromone or something. Like there's some communication happening here via scent, or maybe that's how it represents itself to Nero. Anyway.
Have you saved your sisters?
I'm going to save everyone. And if I save everyone, then my entire family will be saved too.
We pray for you.
I miss you. And I don't know when I will see you again. And I don't know if I will see you in the way that you remember me. But if you don't, and if I don't come back from this, I love you.
Daughter, your memory is already imprinted. You may not be seen by me again, but your family, your siblings, your children will remember your sacrifice, for you will come home to lead them. Brimstone be with you. even into hell.
And with you, wherever you are.
Wherever I go, know that I remember and that I do love you as my own. One of your sisters requested to assist you. Her sacrifice will be remembered.
Oh. I did not ask for a sacrifice. If
Yet
any
we
must sacrifice,
all-
it will be me.
We all make sacrifices.
You did not ask me.
No, but I accepted her sacrifice as I accept yours.
It is not for you to accept on my behalf. I will decide, and nobody will sacrifice themselves for me.
You
I
are
am
no
here.
queen yet.
I am the monarch of myself.
Indeed, and I am the monarch of your family.
Then
She
tell my
did
family.
out of love. Let her be known for that. Not for your selfishness to maintain all the glory for yourself. That will come in time.
We both know death is no glory.
Then
And I
her
think, like, if it's
sacrifice will make it worth it.
yeah, I think if it's possible, they will like cut the connection here. Like that was not what they expected, and they're not very happy with it. And I don't think they're interested in having this conversation anymore. So like, if I can hang up on mom, I would like to hang up on her.
The connection starts to sever,
Mhm.
and you just hear mother essentially saying, essentially, that the sacrifice of death is not yours to make. You have to lead. End connection.
Okay.
And with that, you smell upon the air one of your sisters.
Okay.
And
Do I?
Hmm?
Do I smell like her ashes? Like I'm like what about her do I smell?
her love.
Oh no, that's even worse. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And she comes into view, flying essentially over the city. Part of her, different markings than you, massive wasp, just like we have seen. But she appears to be one of the guard wasps. So she's a lot larger than most of the regular drones and whatnot that you can see. And part of her face and like partly down part of her body, she's starting to fade out on this half. And as you can see through this side, the transparency, you can see some of her organs and everything.
Oof.
You can see some of the battle scars and such. Aspects of Hellstone somehow stitched and woven in like a soothing balm to some areas. The body itself growing over those old wounds. She has probably lived here in the Burning Beyond for quite some time. Being trapped here, guarding something. And now she is here to do one more sacrifice.
Okay. I mean, I'm inside the building, but I think I will leave the room now. Like, whatever else is going on in here is not important. So I think I'm going to leave the room, see if like she will land, and then maybe like spend some time communing with her, or like just like I know there's nothing I can do about this, right? Like I can't like restore her or heal her or anything, but at least I can like be with her for a little while. So I think that's what I'm gonna do.
I will say that mechanically, this is going to explain your guys' last claim of the bonding that you guys gain. You have one more, essentially, cohort and whatnot that is going to help assist you.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah, that's right. So I'm gonna post that. What was the claim called again?
The bonding.
Ah, this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
And actually, I need to type in beneath of it the bond here.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There we go.
Right there, the wasp
Cool.
guard. Is that what this is?
Wasp guard for Nero, essentially.
Ah.
Yeah.
So we're essentially having somebody assist you.
So technically, we had to choose between monsters as additional cohort type or +1 Hellstone on payout. I think the fiction did that already for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I mean like where we're going, Hellstone is not going to be useful for us.
Yeah.
Wait, Hellstone I thought was useful for stuff besides money though, right?
Oh no, it is. I'm just
Yeah,
saying that
like-
like we're not going to remain alive. Like we're going to go wherever it is.
No,
We're gonna
I want to
go.
Hadouken it into some demon's face or something, you know, or into the gate, you know? We'll use it for something, you know, if we got Hellstone. But hey, no, it's cool. Monsters as a cohort type, cool. Yeah, that's what that one
You
is.
do have Susie and all of them, so they are essentially monsters and humans or people.
Of course. And yeah, I pulled it up on the screen for the chat to see as well, those who are watching, so we can see what this claim does. Lots of interesting claims here. This is one of the dark claims.
It is.
Yeah.
Which is making a lot of sense. Yeah. Good choice, GM.
I mean, we are definitely, yeah. The fiction is not being very light at the moment, I think.
Yeah, it's not that
Also-
obvious which is dark and which is light in this game. So this is up for discussion in the end anyway. So it's not that
Indeed.
dark is evil and white is good. So you just decide what's right or wrong in your fiction.
Yeah, dark is a tone, not necessarily the color of the thing that you've gotten. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Yeah.
As to the conversation that has happened while Nero was having this communion with their mother, I think asking where the gate lies. Kona, based on your crit earlier, you would know that it lies beneath the church.
Are we headed that way already or not?
It's up to you guys.
I mean, Kona's basically testing to see if she already has like a strong premonition that it's under the church. She's probably already walked around it and kind of like sort of looked around the area, and right now she's like looking for confirmation that the speaker knows what, like this, that our speaker is not like lost, that our hunter, the scout, is not lost, right? Which way do they head? Before she says anything.
Yeah, I think that Ezra knows that the gate is in Mudwater, but not necessarily knows that it's in the church, I think. Or he's looking for sticks, I think, to see the path to the gate. And I don't know if there are any, and maybe questioning Kona if she has some clues about their final destination here.
And what
Monroe's
about...
packed up to go like for a journey through the burning beyond. So if you're like going towards the church, he's just gonna be like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, making the horse ready.
Yeah.
Like, we're just going next door, you know? And then you're like, yeah, I think there's definitely that. It's kind of like a hesitancy as we start to like, which path are we going? Like, you see us kind of like cut around the building, and instead of heading down the center of town out, you know, and then Kona's just like, yes, further this way, and kind of senses that you're kind of like looking for sticks. She's like, no, this way, and it doesn't make it obvious, but Kona kind of looks back knowingly, like, oh, okay, you were a little lost too, and there's definitely like, she's kind of like waits for you to like kind of like walk towards the church too, as she like, you know, make sure you're still going, and when she sees that, actually she's gonna wait. What do you do, I guess, when she's like this way towards the church? What is Ezra doing? Is Ezra like acquiescing and like letting leadership happen here, or you know, what does that look like?
I think what we see is a short moment of final preparation, like checking the rifle, checking his favorite hunting knife, which he draws, and equipment checking, stuff like that, and then he walks some steps towards the church, and then he's looking back to check if he's alone or if
You're not.
He's
No,
followed.
you're not near. I'm really close to you. I'm really close to you as you walk past, and I'm actually kind of like trying to like say like, do the voices still guide you, old man?
Yes, they do.
They haven't essentially left your side since they revealed themselves in the Burning Beyond. They've been more physical, formed, and talking whenever you needed them, Ezra.
Yeah, but there were times when they commented stuff I did, and when they think I was going in the wrong direction, and they're not doing this right now, so I'm just thinking that I'm in the right direction and going the way they want me to go.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think I'm looking back to see if I can see Nero somewhere. And
I'm next to the giant bee.
Okay, yeah, it's okay. Bring it along.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not going anywhere without the bee. It's me and the bee for the rest of like my life now.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
So and Matt Monroe is ready for battle, or how does this look like?
So Mud Moreau's looking at Kona and Ezra sort of like circling or like kind of drawing close to the church. And again, he came in with his horse, 2 packs on his horse, ready to ride out into the burning beyond. And he's just looking like, here, the church. Saw that we was searching for some kind of gate. If you wanted to stop for a moment of worship, you could have told me. What's
Susie and her posse are kind of like gathered up kind of next to you guys, but as you look over, all of their glass features and everything are all primed and proper for a church service. Those with caps have taken them off and are holding them in their hand.
Yeah.
I suppose it is Sunday after all.
Susie and her posse. It might be an original sentence.
Either you go in to meet God, or you wrestle with your own demons.
Yeah, Kona's just like reassuring you with like her body language. She like stands out in front and she kind of like gestures towards the church, like, yo, it's over this way though, you know? We got to be a little closer. Kind of like that kind of look. And yeah, she's kind of like got her hand on a pistol. Maybe she's got the one pistol out. She's like checking chambers, you know? But
Which pistol are you holding?
oh, the one. Well, I don't think I have the other one, right?
So the only one you have is the one that killed your brother.
Did Nero have that one? No.
Nope, Nero grabbed the regular one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I grabbed the nice one that doesn't have the history.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I've got that one, the ghost gun, the one that killed my bro. It was probably like a quick flash of like, you know, flash cut back to when I was in with the shaman as I grabbed the gun, and when I was with the shaman, there was like a scene where like I saw his death. So like, you know, there's like this like as I grab the gun and pull it out and realize that I'm going to use it most likely in this instance here. Yeah.
Your hand doesn't wrap around the handle like normal.
Mm-hmm.
You look down, and your fingertips have turned into tendrils, wrapping around the barrel. The gun now an extension of yourself. The voice in your head. Release their pain. Let them suffer no more. This kind of like coalition of tendril-like aspects as the Pale Rider stands next to you. Not necessarily visible to anyone else. If anyone else is looking, it probably just appears as the shaman.
Yeah, that's
so many to take pain. So much suffering. I can sense it. I can feel it. Let me feed upon the agony and release them.
So I'm guessing that I'm like being compelled to use this weapon here, or just let something happen, not use the weapon?
You see an aspect of your brother.
Mm-hmm.
That same memory of him pounding against the door. You trying to open it. As you guys walk into the top of the chapel, the church. It's beautiful wooden floor and benches moving upwards as your eyes go up into the chapel. metallic bronze and brass seeming to take hold of the structure, pull it upwards to a metal spire, beautiful aspect, almost cathedral-like. Stained glass, or actually more like glass tiles, seeming to appear fully solid from the outside, but when you step in, the beautiful rays of that sunlight kind of seem to permeate through certain shades. It only blocking out some of the wavelength of the light, casting the entire inside in blues and greens, something you haven't seen here yet. Pounding at the door of your brother. Sister, you're finally coming. The tendril of the gun lifting up and aiming within this space. People are surrounding you. And the voice asks, would you rather switch places with him? Give him no more pain. Open from the other side. These around you will perish, trapped, forever wandering here. Open the door. They can pass through. Would you rather switch?
I mean, there's probably this moment where she's just like, no, as she looks at her hand, she just mouths the word no. She doesn't say it, but she just kind of like tilts her head back and accepts this transformation that's happening, and then pulls the gun and just kind of like holding it out shakily. I'm sure she's not sure what to do. She's probably having some kind of struggle, maybe internal struggle or something about it, but she's
Internal struggle to Kona, she is shaking. To everyone else, Kona is resolute. Kona is being strong in this moment. Kona has pulled out the weapon that killed her brother, and she is ready and means business. You guys descend beneath the chapel. Kind of like when you walk in, there's the pews and everything facing the front. The front at Dallas and whatnot. Big, giant stained glass windows behind it, the light coming in. Around each of the sides, there's a stairwell that goes down. Usually, there is a room or something beneath for smaller group gatherings and whatnot, mostly used for storage. This one seems to be quite large. Towards the back, multiple rooms seem to go, but there's a massive space here. And because it's the Burning Beyond, probably in the real world, it would simply be a large space with a wall and a door for another room or something beyond. But because you guys are in the Burning Beyond, this seems almost like a precipice. Its wall massive, extending out further than you could see the edges. You guys standing there. The wall seeming, as you guys stand there on that edge of that back wall, seeming to stretch out this massive abyss and gaps beneath you.
Yeah.
The door that Kona saw that was iron, that was solid, seems to grow in your guys' vision and turn more red, like amber or glass. It's see-through, something like that. But it's almost like brimstone, but it's a solid brimstone. And that appears to fill the entirety of beyond that precipice. This massive, thundering, forceful gate. The pounding, almost like a heartbeat of rhythm, as souls upon the other side, innocent or guilty, demon or man, all pound with a resolute of trying to escape, trying to consume, trying to defeat the living. Or is it to continue living? You're not quite sure. One end of the far space of which you stand, you see 4 people. All tall, all upon their horses. The Black Rider who you initially met upon your first visit to Mudwater. The White Rider, though at first he appears as the shaman, Kona. And to everyone else, Monroe and Nero, until you realize that it was the White Rider all along. The next, Aunt Polly, so obvious to Monroe, yet very clearly seen as the Red Rider to the rest of you, now reveals as the Red Rider to Monroe. The shaman, standing next to her, slightly off from the other 3 by several feet. This very strange visage, sorry, words hard, of the mask and everything that they had, the giant horns coming off, the long cloak, now being shed as the pale rider steps forth, clearly seen. All upon their appropriate steeds. Now he stands not against you, but kind of sort of across from you. Booming voice asking, "What is your decision? We have been at this place before. The shattering of the gate, shattering of worlds. It is a cycle we aim to break. Question is, are you here to sunder, or are you here to heal?"
I think
And I
Nero
think
will
with
say,
that, real quick, we're going to take one last short little break, and we'll come back for the finale.
Ah, cliffhanger. Yeah.
nice.
Cool. All right. Hang tight, folks.
Welcome back, everyone, from our final break. Back to the moment of being on the edge in front of the gates of hell. The rider is asking the question, essentially, are you here for peace, or are you here to open the door?
I think Nero's impulse here, from what they've heard from their family and what their family needs from them, is to know that they need the gate to remain shut, is to know that that's what will protect them. And I think they kind of see like opening the gate as kind of fundamentally transforming and like breaking their family. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to look at Ezra as the other person who's kind of involved, like, and has experience with the burning beyond, and more than like Nero has. They're going to look at Ezra and say, we have to keep it shut, right?
Okay, Ezra. What Ezra thinks is that he will try to open the gate, because for him it is the only way to end this miserable world and start a new one where he can find happiness. And he's a bit internally, he's a bit shocked as you say this, as Nero says this, because up to this point he thought that they both want to open the gate to bring on the next world. And
Okay.
so he nods a bit nervously, but eyes for the key, which I think Monroe has the key to the gate.
Yeah, Monroe.
So what Nero may see is a nervous glance to Monroe and a minimal shift in position towards him to try to get the key and throw the door open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kona's kind of eyeing your key as well. I think she's like, she looked sharply at Ezra and then towards the key. So it's like all eyes are on your hands. Where
Monroe is just looking at the scene before him, this large cathedral-like presence of the church, the four riders, including his beloved Aunt Holly there, especially at the gate and the pounding of the gate. And he's just sort of holding loosely the key. And he's just going to say, peculiar. Very, very peculiar. And he's not holding it particularly like tight. Somebody wants to reach and grab for it.
I mean,
yeah.
I think all of us are gonna go for it, but I
I'm
don't
free.
think. Yeah, I don't think Nero's gonna make it anywhere near as fast as Ezra is.
I imagine it's more like, it's like the two of you go for it, and I'm gonna try to help to like push it or something, towards Ezra, right? Like, I'm gonna try. Probably, I'm okay with once I know. Like, I probably could pick up on the deception, right, from your character, that you're just like, oh, okay, but it looks like you're about to go for the key, and I'm just like, oh, they're with me then, and without saying anything, I just try to like maybe accelerate you towards the key. Like you feel like a shove from behind.
Yeah, so Ezra is I don't know how far away is Monroe? Is it one jump or is it more a sprint? And
I think we're pretty close to each other. I think we all kind of came in together,
Yeah.
right? No more than
Yeah.
an arm's length away, maybe, or 2 arms length.
Yeah, half a pew.
Yeah.
Half a pew or so.
Yeah, half a pew. So.
That's a good way to do it.
okay, so he starts to sprint and
Bible's
he's trying to grab the key and sprint to the gate with actually no clue where to put this key.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I'm going to. If I see this, I'm not fast enough to stop it from happening. So I would like to try and attune to the key and / or the gate to see whether I can like do something to prevent. I don't know. Maybe I could burst the key with my brain. I have a spectral bee. Maybe the spectral bee can help me in some way. I will throw everything at the wall. See what sticks. Yeah.
Okay, so to clarify, Monroe's holding the key loosely, and then you just see this old man move super fast and kind of grab it from him. And he's just like, "The hell!" Before he can do anything, it's in his hands. Okay, cool.
Yeah, technically, he's only, I think, 20 years old in real time, in real world time. So that may explain why he's so damn fast. And he has the experience of living in the Burning Beyond. So I think what Ezra tries to do too is to figure out what Kona is doing, if she's against him or with him in this.
Oh, it's probably a good reveal moment for what she's doing, because like we see you kind of like move unearthly quick towards the key and get it, and then we see probably the boot from behind that was like we catch like another shot of that same moment happening where like Kona is doing like a shove forward and helping you get there faster. And then I think my hands are all the way around the gun, and it's pointed, like I'm using it to guide me towards where you need to put the key. So in a way, I'm probably attuning too, right? Like I'm trying to sense where the gun guides me to point you to. And then I want my eyes to like flash white, and I'll just be like, put it there, something like that. And, maybe this is like the rider speaking through me. I'm not exactly sure, I'm trying to attune with whatever will know where the hell to put the key.
Go for it.
Is what Nero doing interfering with that? Or is that just
so? Maybe these are like contested roles. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So I guess it's like who has the tougher time, and that person should maybe make the roll, and then
I think if it's about who has the tougher time, it feels like you are more able to do what you're doing than Nero's ability to do what they are doing.
I don't know. I feel like I'm riding an attune surfboard into the gaping maw of a whirlpool.
That is very reasonable.
Yeah, I'm just like, woo! I don't know what's happening, but okay, I'll attune if needed.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
For sure.
Yeah.
Even desperate as it
No,
might
I think
be.
you're right. In that case, I think you should roll, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe I can resist something. I don't know.
If you screw up, maybe I've made progress to show, I pointed out the location, but we still got to see what happens with, Ezra. So, I think I got to make a roll, and it will suck if I screw it up. We'll just say that. I think she's probably pushing. She's gonna throw dice at it. In that sense, she's gonna try to increase her chances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she's got 4D.
Nice.
I guess we'll all agree it's pretty much desperate.
Yeah.
I think if it screws up, I probably will end up doing something I didn't mean to. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know.
I can live with that.
Limited effect, I'm thinking, because it's just info. So I'm just gonna mark it as limited.
Just do standard.
Yeah. Okay. Here. 1 die. Whoop whoop.
Ooh.
Crit.
Look at that. Awesome.
I'm like,
Nice.
yeah, I'm like, put it right there, and my eyes go white as can be, and I think there's like a
The pale rider is essentially guiding you with this.
Oh yeah, so like so like in the past, Kona's voice has been kind of like medium in pitch, not super high and definitely not low at all, but feminine voice. But now it sounds like it's got like an extra layer of bass to it as I'm like, put it there. It's like it sounds like something coming out of an action movie voice, but also mixed with like demons and like children, and it's a chorus of voices.
Oh, Ezra has his voice in his head anyway. This type of voice from the Black Rider in his head, so feels like home to him.
It almost sounded like your brother.
Okay.
As all of this is happening, Monroe is going to draw both of his pistols and just sort of point it at everybody, both of you, and be like, now see here! This is a place of worship. And I don't know what kind of shenanigans you lot have brought to this town, but there will be law and there will be order.
Law and order party. I think Nero will look at Monroe and say, they intend to open the gate, you fool. They are going to let hell into this world. What the hell are you doing if not being the sheriff of this town? And I think what I want to do is see if I can, I want to see if I can attune to the gate itself and maybe sabotage it or, fuse the lock shut so that if the key is used on it, it doesn't work.
Yeah, this is great. This is great because I think Ezra will try. I imagine that the lock is not on eye level, but somewhere up. And what he's trying to do at the same time is to throw the gate at the key to exactly the same spot as the gate, as the lock. Sorry. And if you now manage to close it, then we have this ping.
Yes. Yeah.
I will say I have started a clock and put it on the board. It is a 6 o'clock. 1 tick is in for Kona's crit. Actually, that should probably be 2 ticks because it was a crit.
Let me scroll to. Oh, there you are.
The war has begun. Essentially, when this clock fills, more stuff will happen. The clock doesn't fill, more stuff will happen. Those who want to keep the gate closed will be a tug of war clock. You'll take ticks out for those who want to keep the gate closed. Those who want the gate to open simply will put in ticks. So, Nero, your roll.
Yeah.
Please don't forget to add your sister's assistance onto your.
Yeah. What kind of position and effect am I at here?
Desperate standard.
Okay. I would like to push for effect here.
Okay.
And for great effect, is it possible that I not just kind of fuse the lock, but I also mess with Ezra a little bit so that when he's going to try and chuck the key, it doesn't go near the door, but it misses completely. So that I get some time to maybe get to the key or do something else.
I think something can be worked out.
Cool. Okay.
I will say during this exchange that has started to happen, the pounding of the gate is very much rhythmic, and it's getting faster and faster. Your cohorts and everything else are standing with Monroe at this point.
Yeah, of course they are. Okay.
So Nero,
Desperate. Yeah.
Go ahead. Yes.
One thing I want to say that might be an additional risk if you're going desperate and you're distracted or whatever. I'm going to try to create. If you screw it up, it's going to be a distraction
Yeah.
for us. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it'll create some
Yeah.
maybe a moment of opportunity for us to get the key in there. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Maybe that's
Could
not
definitely be worked in as a consequence.
maybe that's not the end of the world, but it's close. You know? Like we have
Yeah,
to,
yeah, for
maybe
sure.
we're
I mean,
trying to turn it, you know, we have to force it, something whatever that represents the rest of that clock. But
Yeah.
you know.
So 6.
Oh.
And it was the assist die. It was my sister. It wasn't me.
One tick removed on the clock.
Yeah, that spot that I pointed to, it's not exactly the right spot, sorry.
It is the correct spot, but Nero's sister flies up and essentially takes one of her Hellstone infused legs and sticks it in there and breaks it off. And the Hellstone in it fuses, and that aspect of the gate becomes solid.
Okay.
Another part pounding, becoming stronger. You can see another aspect of the gate starting to fracture and spiral outwards, a weak point being now seen in a different part. That is possibly now the keyhole that you will need to access.
I mean, I feel like I want to resist that for them. It was a sister?
Yes.
Yeah, but like, I mean, they wanted to do this, and I know better than to prevent her, because, she's her own person. I think that as this happens, I'm going to look again at Moreau, and I'm going to say, do you hear that pounding? They're going to let that through. Shoot them, you idiot!
Yeah, I'm like holding my head, probably.
A scream of pain resonates through your head, Nero, with her sacrifice of one part of herself.
Ooh, yeah. And like, so I think they will say it, and then they will like let out like quite a loud yelp as they are like dealing with the pain.
I think what happens in this moment is Monroe is just going to look around at all that's happening, and I would like to sort of attune, and based off of what he understands or doesn't understand, I'll go by what he does from there. First, I'd like to attune to see if I understand what's going on.
Of course.
Right.
Desperate standard roll.
Yes.
Can I give you a bonus here?
Sure.
I think the way that Nero is assisting here is probably that even though they're in pain, they would like Monroe to kind of. They're sure they are correct, right? So like they're just gonna try and attune also, so that they give Monroe as clear a picture as possible.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, why are you so shit? Why?
He's not used to paying attention.
Oh man, I think I just hurled my bad headache your way. Like my character's like,
give me just 1 minute.
My character's like, ow, what is that? I do feel the beating of the drums. Yeah. Oof. Okay. 1 to 3, desperate, attune, and final scene.
Not that bad.
Yeah. Maybe all right. Well, maybe it's not the final scene, but it's, you know what I mean? It's like finale territory here.
Hold on, I'm thinking.
He tripped and fell into the gate himself.
Man, oh man, did you have to make that roll, Ray?
Somebody's got it.
Well,
They're rolling too many sixes.
We have been rolling too many sixes.
so like I'm curious if me or Ezra are aware that Sheriff might actually stop us. If he's trying to stop us, he probably looks like he's just trying to figure out things, and that's probably good because we think they'll see things our way probably. So like part of me is just like I want to be like on one side of this that's not expected, maybe, you know,
Monroe,
like helping him or something, you know.
you haven't been down here before. You have not seen this gate, these riders, these people before. And you think you know what you're doing, but you really honestly don't.
No.
And you don't necessarily attune to what's going on directly in front of you. You attune to the abyssal horror that lies in front of the gate. You attune to the gnashing and weeping of souls beyond the gates, the demons, the horrors. You attune to the right. You are attuning to everything. It's kind of like when somebody gets too much information inputted into their brain turns to mush. Kind of like Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skulls, give me the knowledge of the universe kind of a scene.
Mm-hmm.
And
Also Temple of Doom, I think, or the one where the guy's eyes
Yeah.
like burn out of his
yeah.
skull. Mhm.
You are going to need to resist a level 4
Oh,
because you essentially will perish, die, done, bingo, nada, finished.
Wait, what kind of condition is your character in, Ray? I'm looking. Oh, okay. That's kind of tough.
In that case, I would like to use my special ability that I got from my advancement one of those days. You may expend your special armor to resist the consequence from a desperate roll or to escape from whatever or wherever you want for now. But I am more than happy to have all of the stuff enter my mind, but just to avoid the consequence. And if you'll allow me, I would also like to, if it's okay, I'd like to make an action right after that.
The deity of GMs gracefully shines upon you.
Okay, so in that case,
I will narrate what happens to Monroe after this, though.
okay, no problem. So Monroe is just going to scream in terror, like, "Ah!" And he's still got the pistols on his hands. And what he's going to do is he's just sort of going to wipe his face as if something's in his eyes, but clearly there's nothing. And he's just going to start shooting indiscriminately towards the crowd. So I would like to push myself. And I would also like to use didn't see that coming. When you make a surprise move that disregards propriety or other conventions, you get plus 1d or plus 1 effect. I think I'm going to add effect for this one. And yes, is this what's my position and effect?
Oh, it's definitely desperate.
So I also have
that means
Daredevil.
Daredevil kicks in as well.
So you get plus 1d to your roll. So that means I have, let's see, desperate, submit. Is it standard limited to start off with?
Standard to start.
Standard. So I'm at great effect. And that gives me 2 bonus die. Ah! Really? Can you get a 6 on that? And my purpose is just to start shooting indiscriminately and just to lash out. There's no other purpose beyond that.
Well, it's a
Take
5.
it away, okay? What happens next?
Bro, it was a 5. I mean, I had the ghost gun out. I don't know, man. Do I like shoot your big toe off with the ghost gun?
Two things are going to happen. Firstly, you are shooting indiscriminately. I am going to say that some of your cohorts are injured based on this. But that's not really the big thing that happens. Ezra gets shot.
Oh,
Oh no.
can be.
So, Ezra, please take a level 2 gunshot. You can express that how you wish on your sheet. The secondary consequence that is going to happen is Kona's gun goes off and
Oops.
Monroe gets shot.
Oops. I don't know. I guess, yeah, I think that would be pretty bad, like, especially if you're possessed or something, right? Or coming out of possession.
So is this resistible or is it just...
You can resist it.
Okay.
You can armor it, resist it, however you wish.
Okay.
I could...
I will let that go through first before I tell Monroe what happens.
I was going to say I might shoot myself instead of Monroe. I don't know.
I don't think you have control over your gun at the moment.
Oh, well then I would have to resist to do that, I guess. She wants the gate to open, so I don't know if it looked like you were just going to shoot and make a... That would look like a distraction to Kona.
Monroe is shooting, the other person assisting you trying to get the gate open.
Oh, yeah, he did just shoot you, right. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
so... Nope, gonna let it go. Yeah.
Level 2 harm?
Level 2 harm.
Okay.
So Ezra is ticking armor and taking level 1 harm, which is called shot in the back by the traitor Matt Monroe.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that is what it says. That's perfect.
Monroe, I'm going to say that this bullet barely misses your heart. But something else will happen later. You are currently bleeding fairly badly.
So you got hit with a...
What are the cohorts doing? What are like the kids doing?
Some of them have shattered and vaporized with
Oh
the
shit.
gunshots being indiscriminately thrown about.
Okay.
So I'm gonna actually just hit their armor. Well, actually, I think impaired makes better sense because there's less of them. So they'll just have lesser effect, but that's about the only difference. So you guys are essentially at a standoff at this point. The kids are getting ready to go ahead and fire. There's been multiple shots given. Blood has been spilt.
Yeah.
But Monroe did succeed in causing a distraction because he rolled a 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so seeing Ezra probably get shot, then I think that's when like, yeah, Kona's gonna like turn over, do like a two-arm, like two pistol maneuver to try to like line up shots and start to rapid fire back at Monroe. To try to, and not to, I think it's probably trying to disarm him. Because killing Monroe doesn't make a lot of sense, especially if she thinks she's like possessed or not himself, or possibly just the ghost of the other sheriff. Yeah, she's gonna try to like disarm it, whatever's before her. Yeah, basically tick this clock towards our direction.
Okay, go for it.
I think I'm using like this. This sounds like a sling, but I don't really have any sling. Yeah, right.
I can offer you.
Hunt, if you're trying to hit the right spot to do it.
Yeah, hitting the exact right spot would be right. Yeah, but well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's more a thing if you're doing it in the moment. So to sling it. So, or is it more short time to preparate it and to breathe and to give the perfect shot?
Yeah, what will Hunt do here? I guess. What's my position?
Do you want the devil's bargain?
Standard, but I do have a devil's bargain.
yeah. Give me a good bargain, someone.
You guys like.
You hear a voice. Let me take it.
Yeah, you gotta take it. Come on. That is so good.
Let me take
Yeah,
it.
that is so good.
I'm unclear what it means. What you just said.
Essentially, the Pale Rider wants to take over your body to do this, but you don't have to take it.
Well, yeah. Wait, the Pale Rider, the one that took away my pain? Sure.
Yep.
Oh yeah. She doesn't even like let out a. You could see that like she's no longer uncertain. She just kind of like lets a grin pass over her face, and then like we can tell her from her facial change that the rider is taking control over her as she does it. Yeah, so I'll do that for the bonus die. That's a bonus die to hunt or sling or what? I was saying
Bonus
hunt.
dice to whoever you think Kona would do this action.
He's probably gonna try to hunt. If that'll work, yeah. Okay, so standard 1 die. Oh, well, it's not all crits for me today. That's a 5. Can't win them all.
Nope. That's all right. You did succeed.
Yep.
I'm going to say the consequence here, unless you resist it, is he doesn't necessarily give control back.
Yes. Yes. 100%. Oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah, that makes sense. She might actually just let it happen in the moment, depending on what happens too. I think Kona's like, she's on the ride. She got on the tilt-a-whirl now. She's too late to get off. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If you let it happen, I think we're going to go ahead and put it down for a couple more rolls. And the reason why I'm going to do this is because we're getting up to the finale, the final roll. I'm going to ask for rolls in order, and we will see where the clock ends. So I will add ticks or take ticks out of the clock accordingly. So Somebody who wanted to open the gate just went. I need to see a roll from either Monroe or Nero, then Ezra, then Monroe or Nero for the last roll. We'll see where the clock sits, and we'll go from there. Please roll
Okay.
appropriate actions for which you think that this would be. We'll deal with consequences as they come up.
Unless Monroe knows what he wants to do, I have an idea for an action I want to take. Okay. I think Nero is going to try that gun again, even though the last time, I mean, it worked. It blew a hole in Cyrus's chest. So I think they will use Hallow. You can push yourself to imbue an object or place with divine power. It's potency when it comes up against the supernatural. So I will imbue my gun with divine power. I think we discussed this last time, but I can't remember what we decided. Does this mean I also get plus 1d or effect on my roll? Because I'm pushing myself? Or
You push yourself to imbue.
You push yourself, you push yourself. So
Yeah.
you have the effect of the push.
And
in
you gain
addition,
potency when it comes up against supernatural.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case, so I'm gonna roll my sling. So I get an extra die here for the push. It's still only 2 dice. And what I want to do is I want to shoot the door, and I want to see if that, like the keyhole that's there, I want to ruin it so that it can't be used, right?
Mhm.
And I guess this is like a desperate roll. Like, there's no way it's not a desperate roll, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And I think in this case, like, Nero is still using the scent because that's how they shoot. But in this case, I don't think the special ability counts because you can't sniff a door. It's not how smell works. So it is useless to them. So desperate, standard. Is it standard for using the special ability?
It's
Or
standard
is
to
there
start,
any?
and then you go ahead and you stack your special ability on top. So if you gain potency,
Okay.
with it, that means the effect moves up
Yeah.
to great.
Fantastic. Okay, desperate. Great. 1 bonus die. 2 dice. Let's see. I'll take the 4.
Ooh. Yeah. Doing stuff.
Yeah.
Oh. Lost a tick.
You commune with your sister in this moment, and you fire your shot. And your sister is still in front of the gate.
Ooh.
And she essentially tells you, thank you.
I would very much like to resist this. If
Would
this
you
implies that I'm going to,
What happens?
if it means I'm going to shoot through her to get to the gate, I would like to resist this. I'm not going to kill her. It's not going to happen. Sorry, is that what happens? Is that what you're implying?
She essentially lets you shoot through her Hellstone heart. And it forms essentially a barrier across the gate, strengthening it.
So I think I would like to resist. Yeah, I think I would like to resist this by kind of, and I mean, like, you know, you gotta be cruel to be kind. I think like what Nero's gonna do is recognize that this is gonna kill their sister, and maybe like adjust their shot so that it nearly like shoots her dead, but not quite. So there is something to be done. So because I suspect that like what Nero will do is like try and like not like outright kill her so that they can maybe rush over and do something, even if that means that like it's meaningless.
So let me get this straight. You don't want to kill her and be merciful. You want it to suffer first, and then
Look.
go ahead and help her.
I never said Nero's priorities make sense.
Siblings.
So he is a child character too, right? Or she's a child character, so naively perhaps. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like, hope springs eternal. So I think it's prowess to kind of guide the shot here.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I may well stigma out here, so we'll see.
Wait, what?
Oh. No, I don't. I'm literally, my grit is full, but yeah, so if I take any more grit, I'm stigma'd out. But for now, I'm fine.
You don't have any grit left.
Oh no, I just filled 2. That's why it's full.
That's
was,
the trigger for the
then
stigma.
That is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
stigma. So
That's the stigma.
Oh, is it a stigma if it fails? Oh,
Yeah.
Very good. Lovely. Nero's gone. Nero is, I mean, not that it matters, but I think it's voices that Nero's going to take here because they're now going to hear their family, right? All the time. They are now fully transformed into some kind of...
As essentially, your sister cries out.
Mm-hmm.
Her... Gosh, I don't want to undo your resist, but like, because you use stigma with this,
Mm-hmm.
she is going to perish. It just might be more traumatic to you.
Is there any way for
Just have it haunt
for
him.
Nero to take the stigma in
Hmm?
order to save her? Is there any way for Nero to like make it so that maybe like they save her by taking her voice into them and make that the voices? So like maybe they're not saved. Maybe their physical body isn't saved. They basically become like Paul.
yes,
Yeah,
See,
permanent haunting. But it's only
the
in your
new
head.
Paul.
her voice, her body with the gunshot starts to
Mhm.
melt and meld into the gate itself.
Mm-hmm.
As this happens, you can hear her cry within your mind, your heart. You can feel her heart weakly beating. As she says again, your very old sister, long wandered here in the burning beyond. Lost, now with a purpose. Continually say over and over, thank you. Thank you. You reach out and touch her. Hold her cheek as it slowly vanishes beneath your fingertips into the wall. And you take an aspect of her heart that is still there and you press it into your chest. That Hellstone heart beating and being burning, drawn in closer to your own until it melds together. And that's when you realize that you are flying. You are hovering way above the floor, up against this massive monolith of a gate. And that's when you realize the taking of her soul. You have brought this warrior home. You have given her purpose after so long of not having one. Her soul now protecting this gate. She is at peace. And so are you with what you must do.
Yeah.
Everyone else looking up at Nero is going to see them fully transformed into
Yeah.
the regal and hovering queen wasp that they are. Sorry.
Fantastic. That's really good.
Now I need a roll from Ezra.
Yeah. Ezra is. So he was confronted with the lock and he wanted to throw the key into it. And then the lock start to move. And he's actually smiling because now it is a hunt. Because now he has a moving target. And what I want to do is, as it is special abilities time, I think, using my new special ability, Fancy Deadeye,
Nice.
to push myself to do one of the following. And what I want to do is make a ranged attack at extreme distance. Or maybe this is a merge between extreme distance or perform an impossible shot. And what he wants to do is takes this one moment, breathe, and throw the key exactly at this moving target, just waiting one more second to see if the target is moving, and then throw the key at the right spot.
That is amazing.
Go for it.
So I think this is desperate standard.
Yes.
Okay. So what I want to do is I'm pushing myself to activate the special ability, and I want to push for effect. So this is great effect, but without a bonus die. Here we go. Ah!
Nice.
No crit, but fiber crit. So 2 grit for the.
It is
push.
sitting directly on that lip. It's not fully in where it needs to be to lock into place, essentially, or fall into place, but it is there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. Now
I would
for the
say,
consequence.
I would say the consequence of that action is going to be, give me a second. The gunshot, the recoil on your of your throw, when you throw your shoulder back and everything, reopens up that wound a little bit that you were shot with, and you start
Mhm.
bleeding again. Like it's a 5, but it's a desperate. Take a level a level 2 reopened wound, or like blood loss or something like that.
Okay, let me have a look at my grid track. Okay, I will resist that.
Don't forget, depending on your load, you could also have special armor or anything else like that, even heavy armor, if you don't necessarily want to use your grit. It's up to you.
All right, you're right. No, I already marked armor, but special armor maybe. Yeah, but it's not a style, I think, to go in with
Okay.
heavy armor. So
Okay.
I will resist this with. I think I use guts. It's just powering through. It's so damn close to the target.
Precisely.
So no bonus die. Go. Yes.
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice. All right. Last roll for the moment.
So did I get any ticks on the clock? Yes, I think so.
Yes, I did actually tick it. You guys have literally been keeping it between one tick
Oh,
of being closed.
I thought for great effect I get 2 ticks on the clock. I pushed it to great effect. So
There.
yeah, great.
Yeah. Monroe.
So Monroe is going to go kicking and screaming indiscriminately while bleeding out, and he is going to try to tackle Kona, because Kona is the one that shot him. So he's going to try and sort of just barrel down and tackle Kona down. And I'm doing this because it occurs to me that even though I have 2 in Brawl, I've never rolled a Brawl all campaign. So here's the time to do it.
Yeah.
So I have 1 grit left. So am I allowed to push if I have 1 grit left to even if I stigma out?
Yes, because you still complete that action.
Fantastic. So I'm gonna stigma out and take fill out my grit to get my 3rd stigma, and Monroe's gonna take cursed. And
Yeah.
are we in desperate position still too?
You are.
Okay, so I'm gonna get that 1d from Daredevil then. Effect level.
Do it.
Okay. Bonus 1 die and boom.
You said you're pushing yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 6.
I'm gonna say Kona's probably not likely to put up a deadly fight anyway. She would have tried to not. She would have probably been like, "Oh, like crap, you got me," right? Because she sees the keys going in the hole, so she probably gets like drilled like straight down to the floor.
All right. At the moment, the gate has remained closed. Do you guys feel, because I don't want to necessarily get into PvP, do you guys feel that you guys would have a moment to work together to either open and close this gate, or do you feel that you are at an impasse at this point? Each step in their own ruts, their own perspective.
Well, aren't those two kind of like unable to do much meaningful?
Yeah. Like Nero, I'm at this point controlled by MK. Like, I don't get to, like I'm allowed to be so.
Yeah, you're like hovering around, making honey for the.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So if you want to take an action against Nero, that's not PvP.
Don't worry about it.
I'm okay for impasse. It sounds like it's an impasse.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I mean, I'm trying to probably look at whoever's like opposing us at this point, and if it's no one, I'm looking at Ezra.
At this point, there is nobody opposing you because these two are out of the scene at the moment.
And like, sort of trusting Ezra. I'm just like,
open the gate or die trying. Is my position here.
You guys are going to attempt to open the gate. We are now coming down to the final part of this. Now, this particular system has an end game, and it all comes down to a single roll. So,
Oh. Do we want to make that this roll then, instead of us
Yep.
making actions and then doing that?
Yep.
Yeah.
that
Okay.
is what it is. And the GM gets to decide for which side the roll is made, because you guys have been at an impasse so far. But based on the two that wanted the gate to stay closed,
Mm-hmm.
you two being incapacitated or unable to act at this point, I will say that you guys are for opening the gate. So that is the side that we will go for.
Yeah, me and
Determine
Ezra.
the outcome of the war with this fortune roll. Roll a 1d plus number of achievements of the chosen side. Check the results. So, at the moment, your tribe have achievements of 2 dark and 2 neutral. So that is 3 dice. Yes.
Can you explain that? 2 dice, 2 neutral. How that comes to 3?
Because you start with 1.
Okay.
And then
So
the
then it
two
goes
dark
up
give
to
us 2.
3.
The neutral don't count, right?
Dark give you an additional die.
Yeah.
Yeah, the neutrals
Do
are
I
not used.
count the neutrals?
No, you have to choose a side, dark or light, and we have dark here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that are 2 extra dice from the 2 dark achievements.
Precisely. So that's 3 dice.
Right. Started with 1, got 2. The neutrals don't count.
I won't roll.
I am rolling. This
Ah,
is the
there.
GM roll.
Great.
All right.
Nice.
Is everyone ready?
Yeah, that's pretty.
I'm already
pretty good fortune.
What more could I get if I want?
Whoa, what does that mean?
Ah, crit.
Oh,
I crit.
critical.
Yeah, there's no rule for crits.
Oh man.
One roll, Nichelle gets to make the entire campaign.
Okay, we have to start from the beginning.
So, now I get to narrate, and I'm going to narrate for a little bit of time. So buckle up, here it goes. The gate clicks open. A resounding clicking and clacking is heard as many tumblers, bars, and doors are suddenly open. The gate seems to fall forward, with the hordes being held behind. The great precipice, the great maw that was between them, suddenly covered. You hear voices, some familiar, some not, amongst the great deafening sound of the many being released. Ezra, you hear Paul. He sounds proud. And as he passes on, he simply says, I hope you can find peace, brother. I hope you find peace. Kona, you see your brother. He rushes to embrace you. Sibling, forehead to forehead. The tension and everything you have held, Kona, seems to melt away. You're stronger now. You are new, whatever that may be. Kind of grasp at the back of his neck and hold onto his head. and just simply tell him he can take it away now. Sister's got you. I always have. I've always had. Join me, brother. Join me in the peace of not being haunted by your own nightmares. As the horde seemed to pull over the gates, aspects of the chapel start to crumble. The surrounding carved stonework above you beginning to fall. The world burning beyond, sundering. Monroe, you lie bleeding on the floor. Several of the children have tried talking to you, but you can't hear them. Soon you see them run away out in front of the horde. But you do see one thing as you cheekily grin up, a little bit of blood trickling out of your mouth as you look up at the ceiling. You see a red skirt rim come up really close. And being reached down, she looks down at you, and kneeling down suddenly, you are no longer in that space you just were. You are within a beautiful cavern, sitting upon or laying upon a lush bed of moss. You can hear birds chirping, water, sunlight, bringing warmth to your face. She kind of holds you up a little bit. There, Charles. Hush now. This time, you have come to a worthy end. Don't worry. I'll keep your soul for another day. We'll give it another try. She kind of strokes your mustache. Till next time. And she leans down and gives you a kiss on your forehead. As her fingers draw your soul out of your body and into her locket, as she keeps around her neck. Monroe expiring upon the ground. The shard of Hellstone of the gate, once so clearly broken, the key being left lost in the fray. Her deer-skinned glove just kind of sets it in your hands, Monroe. Kind of closes your hand over it. The other part of the key she takes with her. Soon to be passed on to somebody else who will return it for where it needs to be. Given to a new queen. The queen that will meet herself. The queen that already knows that she is loved and accepted for simply who they are. A queen who returns that aspect of the key beneath their own birthing pool and crawls up into her throne room, surrounded by their children and their siblings to rule another day. And that's where you all get to decide and make your final roll on where you guys stand in the New World Order. The old world having crumbled and fallen. Pain being lost, as was foretold and given. But deep within Mudwater, deep within the earth, a massive clock begins to turn back, forever trapped in a time loop.
So this is where we
Yeah,
talk
cool.
about what we wanted, right? I mean,
Now you get to roll
mm-hmm.
and decide and narrate on where your character lies in the New World Order because you're side one.
Mm.
And that's how it's here.
But we don't need to
If
roll
you
the
roll a 1, 2,
blast.
3, it's a minor roll. You are a minor demon in hell or vanilla inhabitants of heaven, depending on how you view this. A 4 or a 5 is a standard roll. You're a demon with some clout or a inhabitant of heaven with some influence. Or if you roll a 6, you're a major player. You're top of the heap, whatever you are.
Yeah, and I think that it's pretty easy because everybody of us has one die in Atlas, so it's one die for everybody. So the same chances for every character to make it to the top.
I think it's an interesting question. Never before have I been uncertain whether my character was going to heaven or hell. especially when I kind of get to decide too, even at the end after it's all over.
You're definitely going to hell, man. You wrote those 3 6s on the Devil's Burden. Come on, that's not even a question.
Right. That's true.
No,
That's true.
No, it's not. It's not possible to click for one die. Okay, I just roll one die.
Yeah, I'm gonna click one die. See if I'm a minor demon or what.
Oh, I roll one die. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah. I think this settles the question if Ezra will find peace in the new world. Maybe he just cannot.
He's still carrying around that weight.
Yeah, it's just a reload and a rerun of the old one, of the old world.
And then
Kona, though.
Wow!
That's
Oh,
my
Kona,
writer.
Wow.
Living the time of her life.
Great.
She doesn't deserve it, but somehow she's standing on a demon's back or something in hell with her foot atop the shoulder of like a couple demons. I think she's standing there and she's got like a demon over her shoulder too. That maybe it looks like like all the people she's killed like mixed together, and it just like puts his hand on her shoulder, and she just grabs a hold of it, like acceptingly.
Yep. Somebody, essentially, you are riding upon the pale horse.
Oh, right. It like zooms out, and then we see the pale horror.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay.
Do Monroe and Nero also roll here?
Yes, you do.
Sure.
Okay. Then I will roll 1 fortune die. I don't expect to do well on this, but we'll see.
I'd like to think you're floating in the beyond, but you become the inhabitant according to the roll.
It's a 4.
Oh, you
Which I was
beyond.
Standard roll. Yeah, you have some clout.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm a massive, wasp queen.
You're a queen of your own domain.
Yeah, I think like the way that I imagine this is that Nero doesn't quite know,
Yes.
like, or isn't like willing to like do the work or like make the sacrifices to be at the top. That is willing, like I mean, like they got handed the power, they would keep the power, but they're not going to do the work to get to like. Oh yeah, sorry, I've only just seen that. That hurt me. Yes,
she said that. She did. No, it fit perfectly with what you were saying, though. So.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, let's see how Monroe fares.
Oh.
So
Also very good.
You are the chosen one by the Red Rider.
Yeah. So we're back in Muddy Water, and things are different. Things look just a little bit more Technicolor, a little bit more happy, a little like Disney filter over everything. And the music too is sort of like a dun 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 dun, and you see just Sheriff Monroe like come out of his office and just greet the people in Mudwater, and they all have a smile for him. They're all like, "Sheriff, Sheriff, Sheriff," and then he sees Aunt Polly outside of the House of Roses, and he's got behind his back a bouquet of flowers of roses that he gives to Aunt Polly, and kind of pecks her on the cheek and smiles, and then it sort of zooms out, and it's sort of onto the locket of Aunt Polly's locket.
He's just living his best life within the locket next to her breast. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome. Cool.
I like the message we got too in the chat about it, that it's in a major key, the song. Like all westerns are like all like brown kind of sad. This one's ba-dum 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 ba. Yeah.
All right, everyone, and that brings us to the finale of playing Fistful of Darkness. I just want to say a few words here. It has been an absolute honor playing with you guys and allowing me to GM for you through the good and the bad, the wonderful moments, the giggles, the laughter. It's been wonderful. I really enjoyed it. And thank you so much, Stefan, for letting me GM and bring this aspect of your system to life. It's been a great honor. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. I would like to very much that I wished that it's our game in the end, and it is especially it was great to play with such great players in GM. That was an honor to have it, and especially because it was my first opportunity ever to play as a PC in my game. So all new here, and yeah, it was a great time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you all. And Stefan will post a link in the chat of where you can find Fistful of Darkness. If you want to go ahead and give your handle and everything for that.
Yeah, it can be found at monkeyEcho.de or text me on Twitter also as monkeyEcho. Yeah, that's the link. I will post it in the chat too.
All right. Tree?
Yeah, thank you so much for running this game, Nichelle, and thank you so much, Stefan, for writing it. I had a great time. I think Nero had some very hilarious moments in this campaign, and I enjoyed playing with everyone. And yeah, I didn't know what a Weird West setting would be like, and I think I got exactly what I wanted, including a time loop at the end. Wow, that was amazing. So yeah, thank you so much.
All right. Ray?
I had a wonderful time. Thank you so much, MK, for running it. Thank you, Stefan, for designing such an awesome game. Yeah, I had a blast, and I learned so much as a player. GM techniques. I've never played with a GM that like messed with individual players as much as you did, MK.
Yeah.
And the time loop and just sort of letting us kind of go crazy and wild in this wild, weird world. I'm so happy that I had a chance to play this, and I had a fantastic time all throughout. Thank you to all the other players, to Tree, Mark, Stefan. Like, we really crafted a weird apocalyptic Wild West tale together. So thank you so much.
Mark?
Yeah, I gotta say, pretty well blown away, by the turnout. It's quite the roundup, as they say, of wild coyotes into one fun little pen. You're all great players, and your characters were awesome. I enjoyed each and every one. And thank you so much, Mistletoe, for being the soft bed of hay for us to land upon as we fall out of a demon's belly. Yeah, it was great to have you kind of guiding us towards the different things. Like, we actually didn't talk a lot about what was going to happen too much ahead of time, and surprisingly, it works out so well on camera, just improvising it with you. So I feel quite privileged to have had you, run this for us.
Thank you. I am
And to
greatly
have
helped.
a player in Stefan. Oh man,
I know.
that was interesting as well.
Absolutely. So shout out to all of these lovely people. You can find all of us in the Blades in the Dark official Discord server, where we play Blades in the Dark, which recently just started. Um, we started streaming one of the vanilla games, actually, working with one of the Hacked in the Dark playbooks and crews called the Drowners. So check them out. They just started up here a couple of days ago, and it sounds like it's a lot of fun. You can find that and many more systems, and our welcoming community, where we create games together, play games, and grow together and closer as a community. So we'd love to see you. And until next time, we love you all.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.